This is the University of North Dakota's pre-commencement show, Celebrate Achievement. For the next hour, we'll take you behind the scenes of our commencement activities as we celebrate the achievements of today's graduates. Our show includes interviews with graduating students and a performance by the UND Wind Ensemble. Now, here is the host of Celebrate Achievement, Milo Smith.
Welcome to Celebrate Achievement, our pre-commencement show. We're streaming live from the Alara Center in Grand Forks, North Dakota. The word commencement means a beginning or start. Commencement ceremonies celebrate individual achievement and signify a beginning for new graduates. Now, UND holds commencements 8 times a year, and this one is our largest. Soon, this auditorium will be filled with hundreds of students who will become graduates of the University of North Dakota. UND President Andrew Armacost will preside over commencement today, and we'll talk to him a bit later in our show about some of the traditions that you'll see in the ceremony. Now let's meet a student who will graduate today with a degree in International Studies and in Spanish. Jaden Paulson grew up on a ranch near the Badlands in western North Dakota. That's where he developed a love for different languages and cultures. He took that passion and applied it to his studies at UND.
I love how it feels when you sort of reach a new point in a language, when you can understand, when you can start speaking cohesive sentences. It feels really great. My name is Jaden Paulson. I'm from Richardson, North Dakota, and I'm majoring in International Studies and Spanish with a minor in Political Science. My first year in UND, almost all of my classes were online. UND did do a great job of, still having some opportunities for you to be on campus and stuff like that. And actually, Dr. Sum's comparative politics class was one of the only classes I got to go in person for, and that class definitely helped solidify my plans. I think I was having a discussion with Dr. Sum after a class, and he was telling me about some of the national scholarships that are available to me, and he thought I might be interested in them, and I definitely was interested in them. The Critical Language Scholarship, basically it's a program run by the Department of State, and its goal is to increase the amount of Americans that speak what are called critical languages. So I ended up studying the Azerbaijani language. It's supposed to be a study abroad program. This year, unfortunately, it was online, but I really took a lot out of it, even though it was an online program. Mənim adım Jaden'dir. North Dakota Universitetinin tələbəsiyəm və bu yay SELES proqramı ilə Azərbaycan dili öyrəndim. With Azerbaijani, it was different than the previous languages I learned because I went into this program not knowing anything, and it was a strictly online program, so it was extremely intensive, many hours a day with my professors over Teams. Every week we had a 30-minute one-on-one session with our professor, and I think about week 6 or 7, we were just having a conversation and laughing about things, and I thought, wow, I'm like understanding and I'm speaking and being understood, and that's the beautiful thing, when you can start doing that. One of my biggest passions is language. I think languages can be a very big barrier to people, but learning languages allows us to break down barriers and connect people and just, do a lot of good things. So that's where international studies comes into play, along with political science. They'll allow me to hopefully have a job working either for the federal government, maybe for something like the Peace Corps or the UN, ultimately doing, what I love to do and what language allows me to do, which is bring people together.
And Jaden joins us now, and congratulations on graduating today. Tell us how do you grow up in small-town North Dakota and develop a passion for learning languages?
Yeah, so I actually spent a few years living in Idaho, just a brief 2-year period. I lived near a deaf community, took some sign language classes, and it was kind of like language, culture immersion right here in the United States. Then went on to learn Spanish from a friend, and that led me to head to Spain after I graduated high school and do a Spanish language program there and spent some time kind of immersing myself in Spanish culture.
So you graduated early from high school, right? A year early. You
Yep.
end up in Spain, and then your stay gets extended because of circumstances that affected the entire world. Tell us about what happened.
Yeah, there were some tough decisions when the COVID pandemic hit, but I decided to stay in Spain. I felt safe where I was, and it ended up being an amazing decision. I learned a lot from it. very grateful for it. And then I came to UND right after I returned from Spain.
So you talked a little bit in that video about the help that you received in receiving a scholarship from the State Department. Tell us about that scholarship and what your experience has been like and how that's helped you.
Yeah, so I've kind of taken a mixture of language, culture, and political science classes here, and I was in a class with Dr. Sum. It was comparative politics, and he was talking about the scholarship opportunities available. I ended up applying, working with Yihan Chu in our National Scholarship Department, and I got accepted for this scholarship, so I participated in the State Department's Critical Language Scholarship. It's an intensive language scholarship, an 8-week summer program, and that was a really, really great opportunity. And so that led to an internship that I currently have, working for the U.S. Commercial Service. So hopefully you can tie that into my future career plans.
Right, because that kind of goes into what happens next, what happens after graduation today.
Yeah, so as I said, I'm currently working for the U.S. Commercial Service. So I want to continue working in the international trade, international business world. In the next year or two, I'd like to return to school, either for most likely a law degree, kind of work as a legal export or international trade attorney, or possibly an MBA as well. So kind of staying in that world.
Okay.
Yep.
Now this kind of puts those of us to shame who maybe have trouble even just speaking English. How many languages do you speak?
Well, I'll say I speak 2 really well. I speak English and Spanish very well. I speak a few other languages, maybe at a more intermediate level. I learned Azerbaijani with the Critical Language Scholarship because of that government program. I'm getting a French certificate from UND as well, just a certificate. And I spent a few years learning sign language as well.
Okay. Tell us a special memory from your time at the University of North Dakota.
I think the Feast of Nations is a really cool event that UND puts on. I went this year, and it's just a really fun chance to kind of dress up and experience. It's a full experience, dinner and a very cool show. And then other experiences would be, I was in a Spanish club, and we did lots of cool events around campus throughout the past few years.
Sure. So I want to give you a chance here. Thank you for being with us during this program. What's a message you want to send to your family and friends who are here today to watch you walk across the stage?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to family, friends, everyone who's been there with me, because definitely university can be intense at times, and it's quite the journey, so I would not have been able to do this without the support system that I have and the people that have been there for me throughout these past few years. So thank you.
Well, congratulations. I'm sure they're very proud of you. Thank you. Well, still to come, we'll meet a student who thrives on getting involved. From clubs and organizations to volunteer opportunities, she gained valuable experience on campus. Her background allowed her to step into a major leadership role at the University of North Dakota. We'll get to that story later, but first, music has always played an important role in our commencement ceremonies. Today, music is provided by the UND Wind Ensemble. Their first selection is Inglesina by David Delassay. Here is the ensemble under the direction of Dr. James Popejoy. Our next guest is a native of Bismarck, North Dakota. She will receive degrees today in business management and interdisciplinary health studies. She's a member of Kappa Delta sorority, also served as a senator in student government, and then became student body president this year. Please welcome President Faith Wall. Faith, thanks for being with us, and congratulations.
Thanks, Milo. Thanks for having me today. I appreciate it.
So talk about, I know one of your focus points of your presidency was student health and wellness.
Yeah.
Why is that initiative so important, especially in this day and age?
Yeah, I think student health and wellness is so multifaceted. So I think of all the different areas that we want to reach on campus. I think about our food pantry and our physical safety and wellness for students, getting access to wellness center parking so students are able to use that facility, expanding counseling hours, and then one of my favorites is the Green Bandana Project, peer initiative program where we train students to be trained in mental health and talk about it, and they put a green bandana on their backpack, and that's a signal to students that you're able and willing to talk about mental health. And for student government to lead the way in that was really important to start that student initiative. So yeah, it was great.
Very important. Talk about, okay, you're involved in all this stuff on campus, but also some outside groups as well. So
Yeah.
during your time, you were part of the North Dakota Student Association.
Yeah.
What is that group, and what were some of the roles that you took on with that group?
Yeah, so the North Dakota Student Association is a higher education advocacy group comprised of delegates from all 11 institutions within the university system. I served as the Vice President of Communications and then the President my junior year, and really just got to take a look at what does the student voice look like on a statewide level? How do we advocate for affordable higher education for students? How do we keep North Dakota competitive? And then other student-related issues, whether it's mental health, student safety, student privacy. All of those things were really important, but then also those connections formed statewide, I think were super important as well.
So, again, everything we've mentioned already, but you were also involved in the Residence Hall Association, Kappa Delta, your sorority. You were a volunteer mentor with the Pancrantz Center. I guess the question I have, and probably a lot of people watching this have, is how did you study? Where did you find time to study?
Well, I would credit that to my support system and people around me that are so willing to be understanding and be patient and be willing to be understanding with me, whether I had a meeting or, I had, hey, I can't come to that, I'll be at class. The support system that UND has given me, my family and friends, has been phenomenal. And so to be understanding with balancing all of that has been pretty helpful.
So they say that, there's that saying that some people are born leaders. I don't know if you were born a leader, but you've been in leadership positions all through, middle school and high school.
Yeah.
In fact, I know you were the president of your high school senior class, but you were a co-president. How did that come to be?
Yeah, I was. So my friend Christian and I, who also attended Bismarck High School, Wachter Middle School, Solheim Elementary in Bismarck, we grew up together, went back and forth. I beat him for student council president in 7th grade. He beat me for freshman rep in high school. And we got to our senior year and said, I don't know if we want to run against each other, let's do this together. And gave a co-speech at graduation, which was really fun. And then I kind of thought, maybe that's when I'm done with leadership. And he said, let's keep going. And he ended up being student body president of NDSU while I was student body president at UND. And I will be the first to tell you that not only is UND better, but I did a better job. But it was really, really special to have that relationship, but then also throughout the year to call him and say, what issues and challenges are you struggling with? Let's come together on this legislative issue and advocate for students. And so I love him to death. He's one of my best friends, and it's been a pretty special experience.
That's amazing. Tell us about, you've had so many experiences here and had so many opportunities, but what stands out to you as you look back at your time on campus?
That's easy. The people and the culture here. The people at UND are one of a kind. I thought about where do I want to go and where do I want to continue my higher ed journey. And I'm so thankful I chose UND. the culture that we have and the connection with the community, and being so close. And so a lot of the memories that I have here will be the relationships that I've formed, not only with students and in the community, but administrators, and the expansive alumni network has been pretty incredible too. So that's probably what I'll take with me, and I hope that other students get to as well.
I don't mean to put you under pressure, but President Armacost is standing over there. I know that you had a really close relationship with him and working with him. What can you say about Andy as president?
Well, I'm not just saying this because he's standing there, but I only have good things to say about President Armacost, and he really is phenomenal, and we were extremely lucky to have him when we did, especially his first year. We said, welcome to UND, here's an unprecedented pandemic, good luck. So he's been really phenomenal, but then I think what's really great about him is he truly cares about the student voice and is constantly at student events supporting them and has a pulse of what's going on campus, and I think that's really unique. I don't know if that happens anywhere else in North Dakota, let alone around the country, and so we're very fortunate to have him, and I hope he sticks around.
Now, I know you have a message for your family and friends, but you also kind of can speak as the president of the student body for all students. So why don't you give a message in both ways to...
Yeah, I just want to say to all of the family, friends, supporters, grandparents, whoever is here that has helped your graduate get to where they are now, we could not have done it without you. And we are so grateful for all the support and understanding and patience that you've given us over the last couple years. And then to my own family, I'm so very grateful for your support and so very grateful for the values that you instilled into me even before I got here, even though I didn't always know what I was doing or what I was going to do and changed my major 8 times. They always had my back, even if they were standing a little farther behind me. But I'm incredibly grateful for all of you that are here, that showed up today, and that are ready to pack in for the ceremony.
Well, congratulations, Faith.
Thanks,
we're going to miss
Milo.
your leadership on campus, but we're
Thanks.
looking forward to big things from you. Thank you. So this is the last day that members of our graduating class gather as students. At the end of this ceremony, each student will assume a new role as a member of our alumni family. Here are some of our graduating seniors sharing their fondest memories of UND.
I'm Matthew Boston.
My name is Myra Henderson.
Chloe Shelton. I am Heather Shea.
June Lee.
My name is Lauren McCreary, and I'm from Grand Forks, North Dakota.
Boise, Idaho.
From Blaine, Minnesota.
From Lakeville, Minnesota.
Originally was born in South Korea.
From Grand Forks, North Dakota.
As a freshman, you are coming in as so many different things to experience and a lot of different feelings, but I knew that I was going to grow here. I knew that this was the place for me.
I think within days of starting as a freshman, I just really felt, and I've continued to get this feeling internally over the last 4 years of knowing this is exactly where I was supposed to be and exactly what I was supposed to be doing.
Being from out of state, it kind of gets hard sometimes, just because I'm far away from my family. I don't get to go home as often, but I've found a family here in Grand Forks, which has been really nice.
Definitely, I really enjoyed my 4 years here at UND. I always feel this, I'm lucky that I was able to pick my favorite college at first. Not a lot of people do it that way.
UND did a fantastic job kind of helping me establish real-world skills, as well as really pushing us, especially in the engineering program, to apply for internships and co-ops and really get that real-world experience before we go into the workforce.
I don't think college was anything like I expected it would be. So in that way, everything's been a surprise.
Don't be afraid to put yourself out there and just try new things. You got to get out of your comfort zone at some time, and college is the perfect time to do it.
You might come in as a follower, but you'll leave as a leader, and you'll graduate as a leader. And I'm really excited to go out into the real world, into my career, and be a leader.
It's gonna make me cry thinking about that I won't be here again. But I would just tell anybody stepping foot for the first time on campus is just go with the flow, have fun, soak it all in, because it goes by really, really quickly.
Armacost is the 13th president of the University of North Dakota. He will preside over commencement ceremonies today. He's a student advocate who believes that every student is great at something. And Andy, that's kind of a message that you've carried to campus, and it's become part of the culture. How do you see that in your interactions with students every day?
Well, our students are absolutely stunning people. And hey, I just have to check. How many people in the audience can hear us? Raise your hand. How about a nice round of applause right now, not for us, but for the students who are about to graduate. There we go.
That's good. So,
great, but I'm not done with the answer.
Okay, you keep answering.
Our students are involved in so many great things. Their work in the classroom, their work in extracurricular activities, and we just hope the University of North Dakota provides opportunities to nurture the students, to have them grow, whether it's in their academic discipline or in whatever their hobbies are. And this is what makes great engaged citizens of the world. People who say, I'm really excited about something, I can do something amazing, and let me put it out there for the good of society. So here we go, that's what UND is all about.
So students and those in the audience will hear an inspirational message from our commencement speaker. Tell us about the speaker today and why she was chosen as speaker for today.
Well, today's speaker is Denise Lajmodir, and she is the recently appointed North Dakota Poet Laureate. And she's a poet and an artist. She hails from Turtle Mountain here in North Dakota, and she has a great message of hope and overcoming challenges. Her example is one that's amazing. 3-time graduate of the University of North Dakota, and has done amazing things as a professor, as an artist, and as a just overall citizen. So you'll really enjoy hearing from her today.
Also today, an honorary degree to Werner Nistler, a person that I've come to admire and know over the last 3 years. I'm sure the same could be said for you. Tell people who Werner Nistler is and why he's so deserving of an honorary degree.
Werner is also a graduate of UND, and he is the CEO and founder of Touchmark, which is a retirement community or a series of retirement communities. And he has had great success caring for people, making sure they have a place to live and to be together as they they go towards the final innings of life, so to speak. And it's just a great opportunity to have Werner so involved with the Nistler College of Business and Public Administration. He has been such a great connector. He has given his heart and soul to the university, and we're just so thrilled to honor him today with one of the highest honors we can give him, which is an honorary graduate degree.
My comment about Werner is I think if he would have lived in town, he probably would have put on a hard hat and helped build the building as well.
He's that kind of person, totally hands-on. He does that with his own communities. And you're right, if he was here in Grand Forks, he would have picked up a shovel and gotten to work.
Now, this morning we had the graduate ceremony. The Chester Fritz Distinguished Professor Award was handed out to 2 professors from campus. Since we're not going to see that in this ceremony, tell us what happened this morning and who received those awards.
So the Chester Fritz Distinguished Professor is the highest honor that a faculty member can receive. It's nominated by faculty members and selected by the other Chester Fritz Distinguished Professors. The 2 that received it were Catherine Rand and Steve Light, who are actually married, and they're in different disciplines. Catherine is in the law school, and Steve is in the Department of Political Science. And together they do some amazing work. They focus quite a bit on Indian gaming. And so they're just 2 great professors, two who are so committed to the University of North Dakota. And so to bestow that honor upon them was an extraordinary privilege for me.
And who was Chester Fritz, whose name is applied to that very prestigious award?
Chester Fritz was born in the late 1800s in Buxton, North Dakota. I don't know if there's any folks from Buxton.
No love for Buxton.
No Buxton. No. And he spent 2 years at UND from 1918 to 1920. He went on to have an amazing career as an industrialist, working for American Metals. Most of his work was overseas in China. And so he did many things for the university, including contributing to the Chester Fritz Library that bears his name, the Chester Fritz Auditorium, and then he also endowed or gave money to support the Chester Fritz Distinguished Professors.
I asked Faith about you. Let me ask you about Faith and her experience as a student body president. How do student leaders like Faith impact the campus on a daily and weekly basis throughout the school year?
So in many ways, they lead one another, right? So we have many student leaders like Faith who are responsible for gathering and leading many of their peers in whatever, it could be a sports club, it could be some hobby, but in her case it was leading student government. So she was our student body president. She did an extraordinary job, as did her vice president, Morgan Mastrud. They were both an incredible pair and just incredibly supportive leaders. But in addition to pulling together the students, They served as the important conduit, the connection between the student body and the administration of the university. And so I relied so heavily on Faith, on Morgan, and on so many other student leaders to give us input and decisions about things that impact the campus.
One last question. What's the message you want students and their families to take home from today?
Today is a day of celebration, and to honor the incredible accomplishments and achievements of these students, I would encourage all of our students to stay connected, connect with each other, stay connected with the university, because as we move this great institution into the future, having their support, having their guidance, having their ideas will make the University of North Dakota just that much better in the future.
Thank you, Andy, for your time, and have a great time today.
Thanks,
Enjoy it.
Milo.
The UND Wind Ensemble has a reputation for musical excellence at state, regional, and national appearances. They're going to perform a short concert for us now. Please welcome the UND Wind Ensemble, again under the direction of Dr. James Popejoy. Thank you to the UND Wind Ensemble. Today, our ceremony includes students who are getting their degrees through our online programs. Some are participating at home by watching our webcast. You will hear their names announced along with the graduates who are here in person. Welcome online students and congratulations to all of our graduates. This year, UND students excelled in the classroom, on athletic fields, and in the arts. They brought their UND spirit everywhere they went. We tried to capture some of that spirit in this next video.
Stars up above me, stars in my eyes, fire below me, starting to rise. I'm my own captain, hanging on tight tonight.
Welcome to UND!
Pointless to try and turn back the time. I've never been this old in my life. Load up my spaceship, tear through the sky, I'm at. I don't wanna wake up and let my dreams die. This moment I'll make it mine. Don't tell me I'm wasting time. I'll show you what I'm made of and give my dreams life. I'll put it all on the line, just like I'm young, wild and alive. Above me, stars in my eyes, fire below me, starting to rise. I'm my own captain, hanging on tight tonight. Pointless to try and turn back the time. I've never been this old in my life. Load up my spaceship, tear through the sky, I'm at. I don't wanna wake up and let my dreams die. This moment I'll make it mine. Don't tell me I'm wasting time. I'll show you what I'm made of and give my dreams life. I'll put it all on the line, just like I'm young, wild and alive. I'm young, wild and alive.
That wraps up our show, Celebrate Achievement. In just a few minutes, our ceremony will begin. We ask that you stay for the entire ceremony to honor all of the students who will walk across our stage today. Before we go, I want to say something about our producer, Barry Brody. It is his last show today, and he has been producing commencements at UND for decades. And Barry, congratulations. Can we give Barry a round of applause? We'll miss you, Barry. From the Alerus Center, I'm Milo Smith. Thank you for joining us. Commencement begins now. Congratulations to the class of 2023.